Why has dating become increasingly difficult in the 21st century? Why have we gotten to a space where it looks as if everybody now has an advice to give to somebody, everybody has something to share? Or wait, there's the rise of a lot of relationship, dating, and marriage coaches in this century. Why is it that a man and a woman cannot just meet, get together, agree on the same values, really be able to outline their weaknesses, find ways to work on it in cases where it can be worked on, come together, and then do the things that's a core values, vision, collaborate their visions, understand the kind of marriage that they want to build and why they want to build the marriage, and get started. Even in places where there are a lot of male and female eligible bachelors, for instance, the church, and then we have the workplace. So this question is very important because it's not like, oh, there's this scarcity of men. The men went to war. So the men now went to war. It's just women. Then we'll be having a different conversation entirely. There's no the men did not go to war. Like, men are very much around, and I'm talking about men in most parts of the countries, because I understand that there are a lot of people who have gone to war and are representing their country, and I thank you for your service. And that's even a different conversation. You know that I am all for women dating men in service, but that's a different conversation entirely. We need to do a different video for that. But it looks as if there's the more there are eligible what do you call bachelors and spinsters. Do people still use that word? Anyways, eligible singles, male and female, the more difficult it seems that, or the more difficult it seems for people to get married, or weirdly it looks as if the less people are getting married. Please, note that people actually get married every weekend. So people are still getting married. So this is not saying, oh, people are not getting married, but it looks as if it has started slimming down. What really is the cause? So those who have been following me on different social media platforms, I've been talking about this now, and I decided to bring it to the video platform for you to also learn about it. Is the challenge of humans, male and female, choosing valuables over values. Valuables over values. What are valuables? Valuables are usually the external things that a person is at the looking to for a person to have or to give to them, or not even if you're not giving it to them, looking for a person to have and to possess before you are able to measure that person as a person that is worthy of you. Whereas values, which is something that we've spoken about in this on this channel at different times, have to do with the intrinsic things that really make the human, your character, your belief system, your your belief system, there's another word, your convictions. So all the things that set you up. What kind of spirit do you carry? The things, what are your beliefs? What are the things that you're willing to die for? What are the things you're willing to live for? What matters to you? What are your gifts, skills, so on and so forth? What is your heart like? Are you a person who has a heart of service, or are you a person who have a heart of only wanting to be served? These are important things that form up the value of a person, like the value systems, what I'm talking about now, of a person. Outside of the degree they have, the bags they have, the cars they have, and so on and so forth. The interesting thing that sometimes people even miss while paying attention to the later, which is to the valuables rather than the values. And when I say values, that's the value system. Is that a lot of times, if a person has their values in the right place, they would always succeed. Now, the amount to where how they will succeed may not be the way you want it to be, or it may not be the way you are anticipating it. You know why? You did not create them. So you don't know how they are supposed to succeed, or their own specific design for success. And this is the problem and the challenge we're having in the 21st century. Everybody has one shoe fits all kind of matrix that they expect for everybody. And they're thinking, if you don't get to that particular matrix of what I have termed success, then you are not successful. Even this is even outside of romantic relationships. So this is something we need to sit down to ask ourselves: how did we get here? One of the ways that we got here is the way the media and the information that we receive in our daily lives has changed typically. So we now have more media channels that are more intentional. And when I mean media channels plus your social media blogs everywhere, that's what I mean. That are more intentional about feeding people with a success mentality that is based on valuables. So you see a lot of young people being so concerned about getting the bag, grabbing the bag, just everything that can make you externally worthy, apart from building that character and value system. And so when you have a system and when you have a generation that wants to continue to push for the importance of the externals, the valuables, over the intrinsic values, which I have defined earlier on, you're going to have a definition that a generation that is striving to fake it. And when you fake it for so long, you cannot have an authentic union out of out of a fake life. So do you see how we have gotten here? And the interesting part is, because I have a lot of people of faith who follow this channel, thank you. But the interesting part is people, even people of faith, even you, if you don't take time, if you don't, because it's easy for you to exclude yourself from that. No, surely Satan is not talking to me. Me, no, this me don't even know. But you must also check yourself. What are when a person comes to you, when you see a person, when you meet a person for the first time, what are the things you are thinking about regarding the person? How are you thinking? How are you feeling? What are your expectations? How are you scanning through that person? How are you estimating that person? A lot of times, many people estimate people by what they have. So typically, there will be a change if a person comes in. Let's say, let's just say, give a general example now. And shout out to if this doesn't happen in your church, but typically, and it's not a. So this is not when we say church. It's not a thing. It's not I'm talking about church or whatever. It's the humans in the church I'm talking about. It's not church, but I'm just giving an example. Okay, since we're talking about people of faith, that's like one common place that people of faith gather. So that's why I'm using it as an example. If we talk about, if you come to church, typically, let's say if a person comes to church and an usher is trying to welcome a person, if the usher saw, typically, like I said, the average person, only a person that is heightened in their relationship with God and even self-awareness would not behave like this. And there are not many people there. That's the blunt truth. If the usher saw that one person came in from a certain kind of car with entourage and whatever, you don't even know if that person hired all those things. You may just, but the fact that at entourage, this person came in with men in black and they're all just, yes, sir, welcome, welcome. You may even, depending on your church, you may even usher the person to a certain kind of seat. Okay? This is because you saw something. It was from the external. It wasn't anything about how you personally or how you perceive the person spiritually. It was that you happened to get a glimpse of how the person came down with an entourage. This one is shouting. This one is saying, "Hey, yes, sir. Oh, yes, man." And everybody, so you just feel that the person is important, and your greeting may be better than the person who you saw around your gate coming down from a bus stop. It doesn't mean that you will not greet the person. It's just your estimation, because you may greet with the word I'm looking for now. Anyways, you may greet with the same excitement. So it doesn't mean you say, great. Then you be like, great, good morning. No. But what is happening in your mind, and this is how people have been trained inadvertently, is that you are raising and estimating one person more than the other person. So you are estimating the person who came in with an entourage and just a lot of yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, whatever. Well done, Sam. Well done, ma. To compare to the person who has come back with a guy, you greeted the person, you love the person, but on the scale, you have taken that other person that has come down with a lot of paparazzi as more important than the person that came back with the boss. Think about it for a moment. This is not for an argument's sake. And I want this is the scenario that is coming to mind now, but think about so many other scenarios as well. And let me tell you something, you're always going to have different degrees of love, respect, and whatever, for different people in your life. But we have got to this is something I've talked about in this channel, and even on the One Diva TV. Please, if you need to watch all this, how to treat people like Jesus, One Diva TV is the TV to go to. But we have got to learn the art of discerning people from this. And that's what I'm talking about right here. That's one of the essence of the story. When you discern people from the inside beyond, do you know that before I complete that, do you know that a person did entourage can be a person who hired every single, you know now that that's something that can happen in this generation, right? You know, it's not a strength. It's not like, is it possible? You know, it happens. People pay money to snap on private jets, to put on their Instagram that they are traveling. And then there was, until which day was that? One time, some time ago, not too long ago, that it was revealed the place in Lagos, Nigeria, where people were going to snap. Oh, and not even just in Lagos, this is happening in other parts of the world as well, because it did not start here. The people who started the business in Nigeria saw it from people abroad as well, who, because of the need of this fake life, so that people wanted to live this fake life, well, let's just create a jet like place where a person can say, I'm off to Kenya, I'm off to where now? Where do you want to go to? Italy. I'm off to Turkey. I'm off to UK. And the person is just went for a photo shoot and they're at home. So those businesses too started to pop up to meet that need. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if we are a people who try as much as possible to perceive people and see people the way God sees them, then we're going to have more people respect, understand, honor the institution of marriage, and then even be selfless enough to want to get into it. One of the reasons why people don't even want to get into marriage in the 21st century, both male and female, is because of selfishness. It's just all it is. Whether you cover it up as fear, trauma, this is happening, that has happened. Anyhow you want to cover it up, is that selfishness. There's that selfishness of I'm not willing to do this, I'm not willing to do that, I don't want to shift for anybody. And I had so I was listening to one of my favorite teachers, and she was sharing just the importance of how she was sharing this story. A friend came to her and was telling her the things she didn't want to change, but she wanted to get married. And she told her friend, shout out to people like that, because I'm like that. So I love it when I hear that other people are like that. She told her friend, you're not ready for marriage. Because this her friend was not willing to shift any ground. She was not preparing like there was someone else coming on board. She was doing as if it was going to be all about her. And that's how I want to end this particular question of why dating has become so tough in the 21st century. Many people are not behaving like they want to accommodate another person. You want to ask yourself, how are you? Are you behaving like you want to accommodate another person in your mentality, in your mindset? First of all, there's people that are like, no, I must travel 5 times a year. What if your partner comes and your travel only moves to twice a year? Not because he's wicked or she's wicked or whatever the case may be, but because there are certain things that need to be paid attention to in your home at the beginning part of your marriage that will require for you not to travel. Is that a compromise you're willing to take? Especially if this person comes from the place of love. I'm talking about a person who is holding somebody to ransom, like, as if they can't move, they can't breathe. That's not what I'm talking about. It's just like a mother who desires a child, okay? And the child comes and you want your life to be as usual. Like, how is your life going to be as usual? You just had a child. You must create space for the motherhood, the practicality of it. Like, I'm just wondering. Or you say, oh Lord, I need this kind of job. It's so amazing how we pray this kind of prayers for certain kind of things. But when it comes to relationship and marriage, I was like, Don't even tell me about it. I just want to be happy. Marriage is not here to make you happy. Marriage is here to make you holy. And marriage is here to grow you both into the image of Christ. It's not if you want to be happy, go and play in the game center. Find some games in your city to play in. It's not a happiness land. Now, as a result of you both serving each other, happiness is something that will naturally come out of it because you are a selfless person. If you are a selfish person, you can never be happy in marriage. Selah. Just use that one, drink water on that one. That you are a selfish person, but you will never be happy in marriage. But I was saying that, and I was concluding with that, that many times people don't accommodate. And I gave example of motherhood. So if you say you want to go, let's say, oh God, I want $1 billion. I want to start receiving $1 billion in my life. Oh God, help me. You know, people pray this kind of prayers. Ah, Lord, $1 billion. Do you think know that people who receive that kind of funds monthly and all that, they are extremely busy people. Sometimes they even work in the week in the midnights. And I'm not saying because you're receiving $1 billion, you will never rest. No, that's not what I'm saying. Before you start saying, I know this person that said the person raising $1 billion, and I mean, yeah, you will rest. You'll have rest times, you'll have travel times, you will live a soft life. And if you are getting that money genuinely, you are also going to put in a lot of work and sacrifice that you're not even going to be able to be snapping on the internet. So, what am I saying to you today? I'm saying if you want to become, oh, this is just basically, so I will talk to you because you can change and then you can share with other people so that they can change as well. But if we want to make our generation a generation that loves marriage, understands marriage, has the mindset for marriage, we have to start valuing values over valuables. Check around for you, a person of faith. All the people that you love and admire their marriage, a lot of them, they always started with all this wretched, no, is it Richard? Anyways, all this sometimes it's a lot of grass to grace story rather. All this we didn't have much. Check it. Especially if you're checking through minister's marriage, it wasn't rosy at the beginning. Sometimes even the wife was supporting financially. So what's the difference between then and now? It's because now people have Instagram profiles where they can look good. And because a person looks good or took a photo shoot yesterday, doesn't mean that they have money in their account tomorrow. It doesn't mean you should go around believing for the worst, but it means you should work by discerning people spiritually. When we become a generation that is more discerning than just wanting to get. Oh, you want to respect this person over that person. You want to respect this person over that person because of what they have, because of what they don't have. You're disrespecting each other person. We're gonna when we turn our hearts towards becoming a people who are saying what are your values and we estimate it, and that shows by our actions. We say no to this sort of narrative that is being thrown at us to want to estimate the valuables over values. Then we are going to see a change and we're going to see a rise in selfless humans. And in a world where you have selfless humans, you have more people that want to serve each other. And when you have more people that want to serve each other, automatically nobody will need to preach to anybody. Nobody will need to cajole anybody. Nobody will need to convince anybody. You see more people wanting to get married. I just pray that God will give you your own personalized interpretation for this word. And as it gets to many people as possible, God will let them know what to do next. God will let you know what to do next. And He will give you the grace to surrender your life and your will to Him in the name of Jesus. I'm Sydney. I help you meet and marry your husband, and I help husbands meet and marry their wives. But I'm here especially for the women to help them meet and marry their husband. I drop videos like this every week. Every week, videos like this move you closer towards meeting and marrying your husband. If you've enjoyed today's video, press the thumbs up, so that it helps more people see. Subscribe so that you can learn more. And a video will pop up at the end of this video. Make sure that you watch it. I'll see you in my next video. You definitely can see me on previous videos you have missed.